Hey folks, Papa Boris here, playing some more Krumit's Tale. It's time to do a run with Mischief, the second worst character in the game. You can see I got Bruno, Rose, and Muldorf done on my first try, but Mischief, say this ain't my first time to the rodeo. So I've done it before, but she is a difficult character because she has a base attack of 1. If there are 6 or more enemies on the board, then her base attack is the normal 2. But most of the time, that's not the case, and she has a base attack of 1, which is an abomination. What amazing thing does she get in exchange? Well, if she's attacking an enemy that is alone in its row, she has stealth. But in my opinion, this does not make up for the base attack penalty, including the fact that she actually gets +3 with stealth. Well, anyone gets +3 with stealth if attacking with a weapon. I don't think that this should have been in the game, personally. But anyway, let's do the best we can. Despite her weakness, she can be super fun if you get the right deck, and hopefully we'll do it. In fact, we actually got the best starting level, Filthy Gobloid Town. The reason that this is the best level is that these 5 health enemies can be one-shot with your daggers. Now, I got unlucky, and I rolled all 6 in the opening board, which is a little bit of a disaster. However, we can take this health vial, we can pick up this leather helm, which gives a coin, and then we get knockout, which is very, very important because this allows us to shoot enemies back into the deck. And I have to think very carefully about who I do this to. On the surface, it may seem okay, this one, because then this one's isolated. Right now, they're not isolated, so I don't have stealth against any of them. But then after I buy this dagger, these 2 drop down. However, there's another dagger coming. Okay. So we're going to knock this one back into the deck to bring on the dagger, take the chest for money, which is very important that happened, otherwise I would have been in an awkward spot, buy the dagger, and now we can just kind of move down this column. Cool thing about knockout is that it recharges each time you kill an enemy. I don't know necessarily that I gain anything by using it now, so we'll just ignore that fact. And pop. Okay, now we can buy this dagger. But yeah, okay, I think this still works. So now this one's isolated, so we'll just kill it. And now what I can do is knock out this one so that the bottom one is isolated. Now, remember, if you use the last tick of a weapon to kill an enemy, you get to keep the weapon. So I want to see if maybe there's a way that I can save the gems. I'm just going to drink this potion, pick up this other leather helm. Maybe with the armor we can make something happen. So one common trick with Mischief that's pretty important is running away to recharge stealth. Like, you can hit something, then run away, and then come back and get stealth again. Now, in this particular case, it doesn't really matter because I'm gonna have to take the 2 damage hit anyways. If I run right now, I'm taking 2, and if I don't run right now, I'm also taking 2. But it's just always worth considering if you get some sort of advantage by running off. Okay, now at this point, another trick that we can do here is we can hit this thing and then knock it out mid-combat, which I'm gonna do. And I guess I could have done with the previous one. And then that causes the battle to end. That's a really, really important trick with this tile. It's crucial for surviving the early game. So now we can finish it off with stealth and then hit this one with the weapon and keep that gem. So we're gonna have 7, and I think that's about as well as you can do with Mischief on New Game 9. I'm ecstatic about that. Oftentimes it's 6-5 or sometimes even worse. All right, we have a bit of a tough situation here. I believe personally that stab is a trap. It is possible to make like a stab build, but every time I've tried it, it's just been horrible. So we're gonna take this. It's not that good early on, but it is something that we gotta get at some point, in my opinion. Like, I'll take this any game that I play with Mischief because this is a good way that you can kill bosses. You can put poison on them. There's a few different ways of doing that, and then you can use this to blow them up with the poison. So it's not something I want right now, but it's something I want eventually, whereas I never want this eventually, so we're gonna grab this. I hope I get a good stamp, and, well, this is bad. So, town guards are the 3 health, 4 armor enemies that do 2 damage with every attack, and they prevent you from using weapons. So this worsens the distribution of your deck, and it adds these bad tiles that prevent you from using weapons. Mischief is all about weapons. So I can't have this. This is dumb, so I don't care that this is unavailable, but then we have, you know, two sort of crappy things. What I'm going to do here is grab Acolyte. There's other ways to get healing, but there are fewer ways of improving the distribution. One of the ways that you lose with Mischief, in fact, one way that I lost very painfully on the 8th level of one of my earlier runs while trying to make this video, is just the board fills up with enemies at the beginning. And there's like literally nothing that you can do about it, and then you just die because no one is solitary and you can't do anything. So it's a problem, and that slightly reduces the odds of it happening. Okay, we have two really great choices here. This is expensive, but you get 2 copies of it, and it's piercing, and that's helpful because you will fight armored enemies. And then this is just a butt ton of damage because it's a lot, and also you get an extra +4 if you have stealth. So I actually am just gonna buy both of them, and I'm gonna get rid of a stab to do it. I just truly think, as fun as stab is, it's just a bad card. And a lot of, I mean, I could be wrong, it's possible I just never figured out how to do it correctly, but like all my experience trying to make things work with stab has just led me to believe you should not mess around with stab. Okay, well, this is, I mean, it could definitely be worse. We have a treasure chest, which is always great to see early on, and now we can pick up this helm for an extra coin. So we just have 3 free coins, which is terrific. This is, oh, this is a stupid piece of garbage. Great, so we're just go ahead and sell it. And just like that, we've got 4. That's terrific. So now I'm gonna buy these shredders. I mean, that's actually insanely lucky. Let me not understate that. That was outrageously lucky. What I wanna know is, can I kill one of these even with this curse? And it's incredible, I can. One thing to note is that if you have stealth, you have super blitz. It goes before the enemy is blitzed if they have blitz. So we're gonna go ahead and kill that one. I mean, with Mischief, you need some luck, and boy, howdy did I get some luck. I got 3 free gold at the beginning, plus a garbage ability tile that I could just throw away. So we're gonna grab the knockout now and knock one of these off so that we can isolate the one on the bottom row. At the moment, I'm actually gonna kill this one because I don't want an enemy to drop into the same row as this bear necessarily. Okay, let's do it again. I'm not gonna worry about saving that one. The odds of me making it all the way through the level and not using that last gem are pretty small. Okay, now I can kill the one down here. And we'll do the same thing. We will just take care of that. Now these bears are a little weird. So they start with an armor ability, then they whack you for a lot of damage. So what you can do with them, and what I actually should have been doing this whole time, is you can whack it with stealth, let it put its armor up, and then knock it out to put it back into the deck. Okay, what I'm gonna do next is, it's a little awkward. I guess I'm just gonna buy this crappy dagger and hide. It's a gold, and I'm gonna have money to spare here. And now we can one-shot the Snot Wolf with a basic dagger. And with the last enemy, we can just simply, well, I guess I could have used both of them if needed, because they would both survive. But as it is, we'll just use the shredders, or I'll do it both to demonstrate. Even though I'm using both of them up, I'm still gonna get the gems for them because this is a killing blow. That was insanely lucky. And sometimes as Mischief, well, what can I say? She's a rogue and you need some luck to get by with little help from your friends. Okay, so we have an interesting situation here. I actually wouldn't mind the spider bite. It's not the best, but it is 3 free damage. And it also can interact with your Sinister Charm. We have some interesting options here. Shuriken is kind of a decent weapon. The issue is, the fact that you can't hit things with armor is sometimes a major problem, and also at the end of the day, it's 12 damage for 3 gold. Are you going to kill 3 things with it? If not, you're not getting back the money you spent on it. I'm gonna make a bit of a weird play. We're gonna grab Bribe. This is useless and I'll be selling it. However, if I can get one of the alchemy potions, then this becomes like a build where you can actually use this, maybe not to kill everything on a level, but to kill a decent number of things, especially swamp golems are really good if you have like a lot of gold. All right, we got a really good stamp here. So I would have actually not minded this, One thing to note is that although Giant Slayer is generally a good stamp, it's maybe a little bit less good for Mischief if you're going the poison route to try to deal with bosses. It's not the only way to deal with bosses. You can also kill bosses by other means. You can, for example, there are armors, there's stunning things, there's running in and then running out and reusing stealth. Like, there are ways you can chip away at bosses, but my personal favorite is to deal with them through poison. So if you're poisoning killing them, then this doesn't actually do anything. This is a little bit too finicky. This is one of my healthful, but this is such a good stamp. It's what I've prayed for. In fact, all the runs I've done with Mischief trying to do this video, I've never ever gotten this. So I'm so happy to see it. Starting with 2 gold just makes it so much easier to not lose at the beginning of a floor. Okay. We have some interesting stuff here. Eviscerate is one of those things that interfaces or synergizes with stab, but I am not going to mess around with it. I don't think it's very good. I like this healing potion. Mischief could definitely use some health. You could consider getting a second copy of Knockout. You could consider getting this, though that's more of an ability build, which I have not been able to figure out. I think I'm gonna just grab Chainmail. It's crazy that I'm actually doing this because Chainmail isn't very good, but you do want some armor, and this does parry the skeletons. It also parries these on their second attack. So I think I'm gonna grab this, and I'm also gonna grab the healing potion. Now we're gonna sell the other stab. And because I got so lucky and had a lot of gems left over, we're gonna also get rid of one of these curses. I just got lucky that I was able to get them off the board for free, but that is definitely not always gonna happen. Okay, so starting with 2 gold feels really good. I wanna see shredders, and there they are. All right, so this is nice. We're going to grab the leather helm. We are going to sell Bribe because I'm not anywhere remotely able to use this. And also I wouldn't want to use it against either of these types of enemies. So now, it's a little bit uncomfortable. I have to actually think about how I want to isolate one of these guys. So just picking up a Shredder and attacking by brute force, if my base attack is 2, it's 2 plus 3 is 5. It doesn't quite kill it. Yeah, it's a bit of a problem. I don't want to use 2 ticks of this weapon just to kill one of these. So what I could do is I could try the Thief's Glove instead. But then again, nobody is isolated. Yeah, I've really got to think about this. Okay, maybe the way we'll play it is like, I'll take the Thief's Glove. There's 6 enemies, so now I can just pretend I'm Bruno, basically. And we're just gonna do this. I'm gonna take 2 total damage killing this skeleton. Okay, and with the skeleton dead, we now have a clear row. Should I use this 6 damage to an enemy and push them? That means push them up, and if they're in the top row already, it actually pushes them back into the deck. It's an interesting idea. Obviously, I could just grab Knockout and knock this out. The question then is, where am I gonna get 2 gold from? The thing about kicking and killing it that way is that I get the gold back. Let me think here. 9 health, 6 plus... Oh, all right, but I'm not actually gonna have stealth because it's not actually alone in its row. So what's gonna happen is it's just gonna have 3 health, and I am not gonna have any way of killing it. Okay, then we're gonna go the knockout route. We're just gonna have to try to make this work. So I'm going to knock this thing out. Now we have an isolated spot right here. Ain't no way I'm gonna survive this. We're just gonna eat it right now. Okay, and I need 2 more gold. So because this is a boss level, I could try to keep the Sinister Charm. Main issue is I have no other way of putting poison on the boss. And with nothing that like adds poison, this really is just essentially poison 3 and deal 6 damage. Which is, you know, 9 damage to the boss. I guess I could consider that. Okay, so I should probably try to save this. I am not gonna need all these daggers. So we're gonna sell 1. And the question is, am I gonna use this kick? What's more valuable to me? How many skeletons are there? There's a bunch of skeletons. I think actually the kick is less valuable than just a basic dagger. Awkwardly though, after I buy these shredders, yeah, that's the problem. After I buy the shredders, this skeleton drops down, and I can't really brute force kill it in any way. Oh yeah, how was I thinking this was gonna work? Okay, I think as bad as it feels, I need to eat this. Go to 1. And I still cannot fight the skeleton. Oh, man. Okay, I'm gonna buy the shredders and just kick out this helm. This one's isolated, and I do kill it because of the piercing. So we get a gold back that way, and we also recharge my knockout. Now I can knock out, let's say, this one. Crap, I'm poisoned. Yeah, well, that definitely sucks. I guess I have to waste my glove, so that was not a good use of 2 gold. We're gonna now eat out that, we're gonna eat up that curse. I'm just gonna drink the other tick of this potion. I'm not gonna screw around with it. And I guess I could just hide. Yeah, let's just keep it simple. I'm just gonna, well, hang on, I can actually kill this thing. But that's silly. I should hide so that I can kill this, getting a gold and getting back knockout, and then I can knock this one out. So I finally have it arranged where I have this column and I can just keep killing the bottom thing. Let's get the chest. Let's get the dagger. We can kill this. Well, I do take 2 damage. Do I care about that? I mean, I guess, what's health for if you don't use it as a resource? Okay, now... Oh, it's really annoying. I wanted to knock this out and kill this one, but there's another skeleton coming. Ah, jeez. Alright, so... Is there any universe in which this actually happens? 12? And then I could knock it out, is an interesting idea. Fine, let's try this. We're gonna whack it and then knock it back into the deck. Taking advantage of his sleeping round. Okay, now I can kill this skeleton here. Although I gotta make sure I have enough weapons. This is my, well, I have this, but still, that's 5 attacks. And there is the boss, plus 5 enemies. Which really means I need to be using this cull somehow. Okay, well, this is kind of overkill, but let's kill this. Okay, let's knock the boss back in, so I can use the last tick of my weapon to kill the harder one. Little dicey here, little dicey. Very dicey. I'm glad I have this potion, honestly. Yeah, I think we're gonna get this potion and this helm. So now what I could do is drink, hit, and parry. So the way that this trick works is you parry, so it's stunned. Then when you run, it's not killing you. And then you come in and you have stealth again and it dies. Okay, now I gotta be a little bit careful. If I buy the cull, it gets awkward. But then again, what exactly am I doing with my life here? I could drink a potion and do that trick again? Alright, sure. So I could knock it back out. The problem is then it might not be isolated, but I think it's actually fine if it lands there, because I wanted to buy this anyways. So we'll grab this, we'll drink the potion, and now, oh, this is on 1, perfect. I'm just gonna use up that helm to not take this damage. I guess it wouldn't have mattered. It would have been... Well, no, it's good. I would have taken a damage if it had been in the 2 attack. So now we can cull this one. And I have this thing, but I don't know if it's going to be enough, unfortunately. Well, we're just going to do it and hope for the best. Let's see, do I have enough to kill it? I do not. How about now? Barely. So that, as you can see, did not go as well as the previous floor. I only have 15 gems. That's just the Mischief lifestyle. All right, well, here we have a pretty mediocre selection. I don't really want either of these, so I'm gonna take a hide. It's good in a pinch, in a way that the bow isn't, because it only works on the top enemy and it doesn't necessarily kill things. So we'll just grab the hide. Okay, so here we have one decent choice, Valiant. I really want things that add to my damage. There's like a stamp that makes enemies poisoned when they come on the map. That's fantastic. Then there's a stamp that makes you do a poison damage when attacking with a weapon, which is incredible. Stuff like that. This is not quite the same, but it does mean that if there are 6 enemies on the board, my base attack is 4, and I can maybe brute force my way through a situation. Okay, here we have some interesting choices. I don't have very much money. I can't get rid of these curses, unfortunately. I don't think I want a second one of these. The reason you don't want 2 is that mainly what you use this for is bosses, and if you're fighting a boss, it's typically the last thing that you're fighting, so even if this is the last tile in your deck, you'll get there. So it's not something I'm worried about not getting in time. This is good against armored enemies, and even though I already have shredders, like you saw, I just mowed through those shredders. So having more of this is good, and I guess we'll just leave it at that. Thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed it. Please like it or subscribe, and I'll be back in a moment to see if I can somehow survive this run. See you soon.